Hello my friends, and welcome to Disney Dreamlight Valley. Oswald the Lucky Rabbit. Everybody's talking about him. He is coming to Disney Dreamlight Valley and he's causing a lot of controversy. Some people love him, some people don't care about him, some people are actually very against him being added to Disney Dreamlight Valley. But I have seen so many people asking in the comments, who is Oswald? Who is Oswald the Lucky Rabbit? A lot of people who potentially don't like him or don't see him fitting Disney Dreamlight Valley. Maybe if you learned a little bit more about him, you would see him in a different light. Anyway, in this video, we're gonna go briefly through the history of Oswald the Lucky Rabbit, his significance in Disney universe, and how do I think he's gonna fit in Disney Dreamlight Valley. If you have never heard about Oswald or heard briefly, I think you're gonna learn a couple cool things in this video. So click subscribe button because there is more where this came from, and let's dive right into it. So first of all, Oswald the Lucky Rabbit, he was the first character ever created by Walt Disney, and also the first character to ever be stolen from Walt Disney. By the way, speaking of stealing, every 22 seconds somebody gets their identity stolen. So let me introduce you to Aura, the sponsor of today's video, who can easily help you protect your identity online. I don't know about you, but I'm absolutely tired of receiving spam calls every single day. Look at this. Look at all of these calls. You might think, oh my god, this guy has so many friends. Well, I wish. But unfortunately, 90% of these calls are spam. Did you know that data brokers make lots of money from your private information and selling it to robocallers, scammers, and other people that you probably don't want to have your private information? Well, what you might have not known is that those data brokers are legally required to remove your information if you ask them to. And this is where Aura comes in. They're constantly monitoring the list of all known data brokers, and they submit opt-out requests on your behalf if they detect that your personal information is being sold. There are so many services out there that protect different aspects of your identity, but Aura has it all in one place. It's super easy to set up. It's just one app that comes with all the features you might want. Password manager, parental control, VPN, antivirus, identity theft protection and insurance, and more for one very affordable price. Now, they didn't tell me to say any of this stuff, but I've been using Aura for the last 3 months, and I have been shocked on how much of my private information is out there. And I'm a very private person. I don't like that. Recently, I applied for a credit card, and Aura sent me an email immediately notifying me that some company looked up my credit report, and then later that a new account was opened under my social security. Now, in this case, it was me doing those actions, but sometimes it can be a scammer, and you would never know until it's too late. With Aura, you will get notification when something's going on immediately. I can input all of my passwords from all of my most important accounts into Aura, and they will monitor all the data breaches that are reported and notify me if any of my passwords have been leaked, so I can change them and not get hacked. And not to mention, in the last couple of months, I've been receiving so much less spam calls. Here you go. This whole month of September, I received 4 compared to June. Before I started using Aura, 6, 8, 15, over 20! What the hell? On their website, you can literally see what data brokers they asked to remove your private information, which sites had to legally remove your phone numbers and other information so no scammers can access it anymore. It's magical. If you don't want those scammers to continue profiting from your private information, go check out Aura. I'm gonna leave my special link in the description that will give you 2 weeks free trial. Go sign up for free, check out if your information was exposed, and Aura will offer you multiple ways to fix it. You literally have nothing to lose except all your private information and peace of mind and constant worrying about your identity being compromised. Thank you so much, Aura, for sponsoring this video. Check out the link in the description. Let's get back into Disney Dreamlight Valley. Alright, let's talk about the first appearance of Oswald the Lucky Rabbit. September 5th, 1927, he first appeared in a short film, Trolley Troubles. But that wasn't first cartoon ever created using Oswald the Lucky Rabbit. The first Oswald cartoon, Poor Papa, was poorly received by Universal executives. When Walt Disney just was starting out in animating, his first character ever created was Oswald. But he didn't have any money. He partnered with wrong people. He was supposed to have a partnership with Universal Studios to produce these cartoons for them. But he got scammed, and he got all of the animators working with him stolen to a new studio that was led by the guy who was supposed to help Walt Disney to be a bridge between Walt and Universal Studios. But there were a few cartoons that Walt Disney produced for Universal Studios. First was Poor Papa, and they did not like it. Oswald gets a visit from the stork, having some babies delivered to him. He then gets another visit, another one, and so on. Oswald is forced to rely on various methods to stop the continual flow of babies. So the problem with the first cartoon was the way that Oswald looked. And if you take a look at this picture, he did not look great. Oswald was like an old guy initially, which is crazy. You can see him right now here in the picture. It looks nothing like the Oswald that we all know nowadays. And because of how he looked, this cartoon never saw a light of day. It was rejected by Universal Studios, so Walt completely changed the way Oswald looks in his second short, Trolley Troubles. Now this one is the one where Oswald actually gets his look that is maintained to this day. They chose to make Oswald younger, thinner, and sometimes troublesome. Oh, actually, never mind. So you can find some of these cartoons on Disney Plus. Ooh, I might actually have to go watch this. Now, here comes an interesting fact. You might be wondering, why is Oswald called a lucky rabbit? Well, mostly because of this one fact. Oswald pulls off his foot to rub it. This is apparently something that he does. I have watched a couple. I'm not going to show you any actual footage because Disney is going to claim this video and nuke my channel probably. But you can find the latest, like about 2 years ago, they released a new Oswald cartoon. And you can see there pretty much the style of this guy. He reassembles his body parts. That's like his... That's his thing. Maybe I'll show you like a little piece of it. Basically, the main things that he does is take off his foot and rub it for luck. So he's called Oswald the Lucky Rabbit because of his lucky foot that he rubs himself by taking it off. He takes off his ears, uses it as scissors. He takes off his head. It's craziness. When I watched the first for the first time an episode of Oswald the Lucky Rabbit, it absolutely blew my mind. It looks so different from any Disney cartoons that we see nowadays. Even the wacky ones, even the old ones. It's just such a different style. Okay, so why did Oswald start, how did Oswald create Mickey Mouse? What's the connection? And the connection is, after Disney got scammed by the person he was working with, and he basically lost the character. He lost Oswald because all of the people who were animating for Oswald shorts got stolen by this other company. So he had to start from scratch. And on the way home in the train, he was doodling on a piece of paper, and he came up with the idea of Mickey Mouse. Some could argue that it only was possible because he lost Oswald. If that never happened, who knows if he would ever need to even try to make a new character. Maybe he would be making Oswald cartoons until the day he died. But that's something that could be considered a devastating event. Losing your creation, getting double-crossed, and losing your whole company pretty much turned out to be the best thing that ever happened to him, because that forced him to think of new things and potentially proving that he can come up with another successful character pushed him in the direction of making more and more characters, adding them to the Disney universe as the years goes by. So that was a monumental event in history of Disney. Mickey Mouse was born on a train, on a piece of paper. Another fun fact. Originally, Oswald's love interest was named Fanny, a sultry rabbit. This. Oh boy. Come on, Oswald. To be honest, this is kind of funny. But anyway, then it changed. A couple episodes later, she was replaced by Hortensia, who is a cat. Oh, okay, this is way more adorable. And you can clearly see Oswald, Hortensia, how they basically developed into Mickey and Minnie. It's incredible. So you might be wondering, if Disney lost Oswald as a character to Universal Studios, how come we're getting him in a Disney game? Well, in 2006, Walt Disney Company received a number of assets, including the right of Oswald from NBC Universal. So basically, they did a little bit of exchange. Some rights, Disney gave some rights to Universal. Universal gave some rights to Disney. Among those rights were Oswald rights. So since 2006, Disney started implementing Oswald back into the universe. And by most people, it's seen as a good move to basically bring back everybody who's ever been a part of Disney universe back into the same fold. And I think it was a great move as well. So let's talk about Oswald's personality. Not counting the first Poor Papa cartoon where he was completely different character. Starting with the second cartoon, Trolley Troubles, Oswald was portrayed as a small, mischievous rabbit, often finding himself in trouble. He would always be saved through his luck, hence the name. He was also shown to have the ability to disassemble his body parts at will, as seen when he literally detached his leg and kissed it for good luck. This is amazing. In case you're wondering, Pete was actually the villain in the Oswald universe. He was the biggest, basically the rival of Oswald. They were fighting all the time, but later this guy obviously made it to the Mickey Mouse era and became the arch enemy of Mickey Mouse. So that's another thing Oswald and Mickey have in common. So Oswald was energetic, inventive, adventurous, and almost always caused trouble, but found his way out through cunning and wit. He liked to play and make others laugh. Despite his flaws, he has morals and always tries to do the right thing. He was actually the first cartoon character with a personality ever created. Can you imagine? Before Oswald, cartoons did not have any personalities. That's insane to think about. However, with the recent revival of Oswald, mostly through the Epic Mickey game series, which basically brought back the Oswald in a big way. Until Epic Mickey games, he was pretty much forgotten. But in Epic Mickey games, Oswald was portrayed as more aggressive, serious, and short-tempered than Mickey, though he does have a sense of fun and humor. Oswald is not welcoming towards strangers and even comes across as spiteful towards people he doesn't trust. He is very brave but overconfident, which makes Oswald impulsive and bordering to the point that Oswald can be ignorant and ultimately fumble. And finally, despite being called lucky, he gets bad luck pretty much as often as good luck. So I guess by lucky they mean he has some kind of luck. Doesn't mean it has to be good luck. Basically, Oswald is what Mickey could have been if he was a little bit more egotistical or fallible. So he is not as straightforwardly good as Mickey Mouse. He is more of a mischievous slash sometimes a little bit too much, and he's overconfident and gets himself in trouble because of his overconfidence, but he still has a good heart. And like once again in Epic Mickey games, they lean into that side of him, making him even slightly maybe less likable than he used to be. I'm not sure which approach Disney Dreamlight Valley is gonna take with Oswald. From everything I've seen from the trailers so far, it looks like that guy is super fun. I have not seen any body part reattaching, and honestly, I don't think they're gonna do this in Disney Dreamlight Valley just because of how difficult those animations would be to implement. Like, imagine him just taking his ears off and using him as scissors. That's crazy, right? It would be difficult to animate, but maybe he will. Who knows? We haven't seen all of his animations yet. Also, it's gonna be interesting to see if Oswald is going to be talking in Disney Dreamlight Valley or not, because like for all of the original Oswald Lucky Rabbit cartoons, he wasn't talking. They did add him. They did voice him in some of the remakes of the original series later. And then in the games, he also had a voice. So I feel like he will be voiced, but we don't know for sure yet. So in Epic Mickey, the quest line was basically Oswald was a ruler of Cartoon Wasteland, a world where forgotten and rejected Disney creations lived. And he was kind of like, even though he is Mickey's older brother, he hates Mickey as a part of the plot of Epic Mickey, because Mickey was a successful Disney character and Oswald was the one who was left behind. He was jealous and resentful towards Mickey for stealing his career. In the end, he makes the right choices and ends the game as a positive character, but you can see throughout the game how he is constantly tempted to basically abandon Mickey and take his place. And at a few points throughout the plot, he does bad things in that game. So he is not like super good positive character in Epic Mickey games. He is a little bit of a controversial character, even though in the end he turns out to be good, but it took him a while to get there. I'm reading these plots for these Epic Mickey games, and it kind of makes me want to play them. Let me know in the comments if you guys want me to play some Epic Mickey games later, maybe on the live stream. Yeah, I'm very excited with how Oswald is portrayed in this game. It seems like he's going to be a very positive character. I don't think they're gonna make him a villain. I think Oswald is going to be a good guy and help us out. But there is a chance he will be tempted to maybe join Jafar to rule Eternity Isle and the whole Dreamlight Valley because of his history, and yeah, I'm here for it. I'm sure in the end he's gonna definitely be a good guy, but I wonder what kind of a story arc they're gonna pick for him, because there is, like, considering how very little is known about this guy, they could give him any personality they want. So I'm kind of curious which route they're going to go. In terms of if this guy's gonna fit Disney Dreamlight Valley, I see a lot of people feel like he's just not gonna blend well with the rest of the characters. He's not like his items, like his house, his car are not gonna blend well either. I mean, it definitely looks different. It definitely, like, these items look like, even in this trailer, kind of look out of place. So I can understand where people's concerns are coming from, but the worst case, you just put his house somewhere where you don't go very often, or I don't know, maybe you can make a black and white corner in one of your biomes. I feel like it's a little bit too early to get upset about Oswald before we even see the way he is done and how it actually looks in the game. Maybe it's gonna look much better than you think. I have seen a lot of people excited for Oswald, and I'm excited as well, even though I did not even know he existed, if I'm being honest, before all of this Lucky Villager discussion started. And now I'm definitely looking forward for him to be added in Disney Dreamlight Valley. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video. Huge thanks to all of our awesome supporters. Let me know in the comments if you learned something new about Oswald the Lucky Rabbit, and also let me know if your opinion about him being added in Disney Dreamlight Valley have changed at all after watching this video. I'm very curious. I was surprised how crazy his story is. Like, he is one of the, if not the most influential character in the history of Disney. and he's not even that well known. I feel like he deserves to get back into the Disney universe and claim his rightful spot as one of the OGs of Disney. If you're excited, let me know in the comments. Thank you for watching, subscribe for more content, and goodbye.